All right. Hey,
Hi.
thanks for coming, Stephanie.
Thank
I
you.
so appreciate you being here and taking the time. And so we finished the first thing, which is the PDP, and now we're going to the COT, and that's Coach on Topic. And so I wanted to review this with you, our learning objective. And it says that that you want to learn to discuss emotions with the children. And then the learning objective is that you will daily work daily with the children for 2 weeks at the meeting time to teach them how to use use the feeling chart. And we will know that the children can use the chart when 6 out of 10 of the children can label their emotions and tell why they feel the way they feel for 3 days in a row. Does that sound like a good one? Okay, good. We're set on that. So we are gonna do like learning emotional literacy. Now, how would you define what emotional literacy is? Do you have an idea?
Maybe the well, it kind of I would think it would talk about the different emotions
Okay.
that children would have,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of what the different signs of those emotions would be with those children.
Okay, that's
So,
good. And then from the Pyramid Plus, they defined it. I thought we'd just give you that. It says emotional literacy is the capacity to and you identify, understand, and express emotions in a healthy way. And then the second part is recognize, understand, and label emotions, in yourself and then in others.
okay.
So that's kind of like gives us the definition of what we're working, of what it means. Okay.
Okay.
Then, so we're going to be talking about the emotional literacy and why it is so critical to teach the children this. Because why do you think it would be important to teach the children emotional literacy?
Well, I think they need to be aware of what their emotions are.
Okay.
They need to be able to label how they feel.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's important for them to be able to label how they feel, and for them to be able to express it
Right.
in a healthy manner.
Uh-huh.
A way to express it where they can keep themselves safe and other people safe.
Right. Right.
So,
And so I thought that I would give you the research behind that of why it is important, and the research behind that of why they really want children to be able to feel their emotions, express their emotions in themselves and in others, and to do it in a healthy way, like what you said. I thought that there's 8. So you want to read the first 4? That
okay.
this is why that we do what we do in teaching them. You want to read it out loud?
Tolerate frustration better.
Mm-hmm.
Get into
Fewer.
fewer fights.
Mm-hmm.
Engage in less self
Destructive.
destructive behavior.
Right.
And are physically healthier.
Right. So these are the first 4 things of what they have done studies of why emotional literacy is so important. And then does anyone in particular stand out to you that like, whoa, I didn't know that?
Well, the physical healthier, that one was, I mean, I do see where you're
Yeah.
knowing that would, but that one is, definitely
Uh-huh.
one that I would have,
It,
not
it kind of
quite.
stood out to you.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
stood out a little bit more to me. So,
Right. And then number 5 is are less lonely.
mm-hmm.
And then 6 are less impulsive. And then number 7 are more focused. And then I think this is very important, have greater academic achievement. And this is by Cephal and it's by Joseph and Strain. They're the ones who did this study and have and over a lot of people and discovered that with emotional literacy, these 8 things really. So I mean, you really want your children to get in fewer fights, tolerate frustration better, are less lonely. I think that's a good.
I think that's good, yeah. Because if they can express their feelings and they're not getting so, they can actually tell,
Yes.
if somebody if a friend if a friend hurts them or
Right.
hurts their feelings,
Yeah.
if they can express that to their friend, I think
Uh-huh.
that would help. So, and it makes them not be so quiet and
Right.
standoffish.
And I think, like with my reviewer, she was doing something that was really scary to me. And I shared with her what she was doing was really making me fearful inside. And she, took that and acknowledged it and affirmed me in it. And that just
Yeah.
really validated my feelings. And that was huge. That really helped our relationship, that we were able to start, on a good foot. We were able to start with, I was able to share with her how I was feeling.
Yeah.
And so I think to be less lonely, that you feel your feelings and you know what your feelings are, and then you feel comfortable with them. And
Well, I
that's
think if they can express their feelings, they're helping teach their friends, better.
right.
Because then they can tell their friends, well, I don't like that, and what you did hurt my feelings. So the friend knows that
Yeah.
hurt their feelings. So now that helps that friend build a better relationship too. So that friend isn't so lonely either.
Exactly.
So it helps. It helps both ways, neither one.
Totally.
So
Me and you too.
I'm just thinking of, I know there was incidences when my children were younger that
Yeah.
it was like that. It's like,
Uh-huh.
their friend didn't realize they were hurting for friend feelings, and my children told them, and it seemed like it helped.
Oh, good.
So
yeah. So that's good. All right. So that is the research behind that, and so this I think really gives us credence of why we do what we do, and that we know that in doing this, we're helping them in the long run. I mean, throughout their whole entire life. So
yes.
I am glad about that. All right. And then we are going to, this is the pyramid. And so what we're majoring on right now is the targeted social emotional support. So we're starting up here just because that's where we need to be. I mean, it's not, I think it's I think with you and me and the class, I think that this is an area that I think needs to be dealt with. So that's the area. And so this is like a universal, like it's good for all the children. I mean, it's good for everybody. So
Right.
it's not targeted for one specific person, but it's universal where everybody's going to benefit
Right.
from this. So that's the area that we're in the Pyramid Plus. All right. And then I also wanted to share with you, like, I don't have a personal experience from the emotion chart. So we're going to have to work together and learn, because I've never done it before, but this is going to be a learning curve for both of
Right.
us, okay? But like one thing that I did want to share with you is like last year with Jack, you know Jack.
Oh yeah.
And he had such a big separation anxiety. And so we used the visual schedule for Jack. And, and that helped him know that, because he has such a separation anxiety, that when this happens, and it was secure for him, that one step at a time. And then when finally when we came in from outside, even though his parents never left, but they didn't recognize him, the teachers were the ones who were involved with him, but we took baby steps.
Right.
And so one thing that I thought, and right now it's so rewarding because he is doing so well.
He is.
I mean, he is saying goodbye, Dad, and I mean, he's all by himself, and so that is so rewarding. But I thought one thing that we could think about too is maybe how do you think a feeling chart would help him? Instead of like we use the visual chart, how how do you think like a feeling chart would have helped Jack?
Well, I think if you pointed out in the morning when his parents left, he was sad.
Yeah.
But then later on, when you see that he's interacting with the kids
Uh-huh.
and maybe doing something that, ask me, now how do you feel?
Right.
And that maybe would show him that you can still, even though mom and dad are gone, see, you changed from sad for mom and dad being gone.
Right.
and now you're happy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and give him, and I think also what it would have, because I think because he's from Syria, and he does teach. I mean, he does speak two of the languages.
mm-hmm.
That I think it probably would have given him emotion words with his feelings. You know,
Yeah.
I think that probably would have been a big piece
Mm-hmm.
too. That it would have, you know, when he's feeling sad, because sometimes he would just shake,
Yeah.
and so I think it would have been really helpful to him. But I mean, that was just an example that I thought we could talk about
Yeah.
and share about. Um, all right, now we're going to get to the nitty gritty.
All right.
I got some articles for you, and this is teaching your child to identify and express emotions. And this was really a good one. And it also had what I thought was kind of fun. It had activities to do with the children. That was really fun. You know, like share a story, make an emotional book. When the child comes in, to have a mirror there, so they can look at their face and see how their feelings, you know, uh, are feeling. You know, so here I'll let you have that
Okay.
one.
No, I think that would be good with the chart.
I
Having
know.
the mirror. Yeah.
Yeah. And then here is another really good article. It's called Enhancing Emotional Vocabulary in Young Children. And I thought what we could do is just read a little bit and then discuss. I highlighted some things that I thought were really um, important that I was reading. Okay, it says parents and teachers can foster emotional vocabulary by teaching feeling words and their emotional definitions, which I thought was a different concept too, like not just the word, but the definition. You know, I
Yeah.
thought, you know, so instead of like, you know, I'm feeling sad, well, when I'm feeling sad, you know, sometimes your stomach hurts, or sometimes, you know,
Mm-hmm.
your heart is racing a little bit. Fentanyl, that's when you're scared. But to put a definition in with the word, I thought that was a good
Oh, yeah.
idea. And it says, let's see, adults can increase children's feeling words by teaching different feeling words and definitions directly, incidentally, in the context of conversation and play, and through special activities. So I thought, you know, like in the context of play, you know, and free play,
Uh-huh.
that would be a really good time. And then, let's see. Would you like to read that one right there, the emotional vocabulary?
Emotional vocabulary is, however, only part of this picture. For emotional vocabulary teaching to be effective, adults must first spend the time necessary to build positive relationship with children. Within this foundational context of warm and responsive relationships with children, teachers can maximize the influence to enhance emotional vocabulary.
So does
Yeah.
that speak to you? What does that say to you?
Well, that's part, we're here to really encourage their emotions too,
Yeah, yeah.
for them to learn their emotions.
Uh-huh.
So, and it's,
You know, it seems such a simple thing, but it's so deep and so important.
oh yeah.
You know? I wish
Stop.
I had that when I was growing up. I didn't. I didn't have that at all.
I'm gonna
Carrie,
stop.
oh yeah. All right.